The FIC received no suspicious and unusual transaction or activity reports with reference to Section 29 of the FIC Act related to the subject Carl Sander. FIC received no cash threshold reports with reference to Section 28 of the FIC Act. 6.3 CTRs refer to reports on transaction, i.e. cash received or paid by the institution in excess of the threshold amount of 49,999. Where there are transaction exceeding the threshold amount, the institution must file a CTR with the FIC. No unusual or suspicious transactions found on the suspect's bank account records obtained through Section 205. Outcome of the investigation. The information received from DPCI Risk and Integrity Management at the head office, as per request through a subpoena in terms of Section 205 of the Criminal Procedure Act, revealed that Warrant Officer Carl Sander did not apply for remunerative work. Investigation revealed that Warrant Officer Sander holds a portion of directorship at the shooting club and was incorporated on the 16th of April 2019. Current status, 8.1, disciplinary case. DPCI KZN DR 04-2024 was registered and investigated. The employee was found guilty of not disclosing that he was a director of a shooting club. Sanction was verbal warning dated 10 March 2025. And it's signed by Major General Provincial Head, Director for Priority Crime Investigation, L.S. Sonona. Now, okay. In all of that,
may I clarify this?
Yes, please do.
I signed this letter on behalf of General Snow.
Yes, okay. Now, in all of that, where is the outcome of the investigation emanating from the 5 February 2024 email by a whistleblower to General Labia?
Remember, they were talking about him living life at large. And the investigation, the IO applied through the FIC to check if FIC can pick up anything. And these are the findings of the FIC. So it is incorporated in this report.
Brigadier, the information note starts out by referring to the email that was sent at 2.2, the email that was sent by the complainant.
Yes.
And then the outcome relates to him being a member of a shooting club, not having declared that, and then there's a verbal, there was disciplinary proceedings, and he was given a verbal warning. What I'm asking you is, where do you in this information note deal with the allegations contained in the whistleblower's email of 5 February 2024 and give an outcome of those allegations? And it's not enough to say there were allegations that he was living large. The allegations were more serious than that. It was that he was colluding with the drug syndicate. That was the allegations. That is what resulted in him being moved, according to you. And you had no issue with that because the allegations were serious.
I think we should look into all the emails, the info note, because this is the last one. Maybe if we do that, maybe we can find that there was something of that.
Were you the author of the other information notes? Because these are the only ones that have been provided to us, insofar as the 5 February 2024 complaint is concerned. So if you were the author of those, then you can tell us what those contain. But I would suggest to you that given that this is the one that contains the outcome, that the others probably did not have any more information that this one would have had. Because this one doesn't say that the allegations were ever tested. As far as we can see, the complainant was never located. And for all you know, that email, the complainant may not even exist. It could have just been an attempt to move him, get him to be moved from SANEP, because he was doing a good job, which is what he was saying, that he was stepping on toes and that is why he was being moved.
Sure. I can't answer.
Well, you must answer it because you're the author of this document. This document comes a year after he's been moved from SANEP. So for a year, you don't have one of your most effective investigators on drug busts. And you are okay with that, and you prepare a note, which ultimately the outcome is that a disciplinary hearing has already been had. He's been found guilty of not disclosing that he's a member of a shooting club and that he gets a verbal warning.
I just want to check if there were other things that were not given to the commission.
Okay. Whilst you're doing that, can I ask you, were you ever able to verify the allegations contained in the 5 February 2024 email by the whistleblower to General Labia? You ever able to verify those allegations that Warrant Officer Sander was colluding with a drug syndicate?
According to my information, we could not.
Why did you not put that in the report, in the information note?
I'm just looking.
Maybe just give him a chance to look at the notes he's looking at, then
Okay.
he can answer the question after.
Because I see another info note here dated 2024-07-15, which was signed by my provincial head. But I don't think the
I don't
commission.
think you've given that to us. You haven't given that one to us.
Does it answer the question that was asked by Advocate Luke?
It really does now.
Because if it does not, then it is of no use.
Yes. This would have helped me if I had the inquiry itself. But unfortunately, when I called, the IO told me that the inquiry was filed and he doesn't know.
The IO would be Warrant Officer Mchali.
Kennedy Mchali.
He's a colonel.
But the question was, sitting here today, are you aware whether the inquiry was closed? Do you know what the outcome is? Because the complaint from the complainant was specific. And the document on 993, other than what is stated in 2.2, does not say what became of that complaint.
There's another one too. There's nothing being said about the complaint.
And so in March 2025, you submitted that report to the information note to General Sinona.
Yes, but there are other reports that I'm seeing here that were signed by Kennedy Mchali and General Sinona himself.
Okay, you can give that to us later, but for now, I just want to find out, because you say in your statement that the investigation was finalized in March 2025. By investigation, you mean the investigation emanating from the 5 February 2024 email. Is that the investigation you're referring to?
Yes, I'm referring to the whole investigation regarding the letter the email that was received.
Yes. So if I understand what you're saying is that email is received, an investigation is conducted, you can't get hold of the complainant, but in the course of the investigation, you uncover that whoever's investigating uncovers that there is this non-compliance where he hasn't declared his directorship in the shooting club. A disciplinary hearing is held, he's found guilty, and his sanction is a verbal warning. That's the sum total of it.
Yes.
Okay. And then why does he not get moved back to SANEP at the end of this investigation?
after this last letter, it is then that we moved it. But-
Sorry, Brigadier, we can't hear you. Just move
I
closer
said
to the
after
mic.
this letter that the commission has, it is then that we move into EPR on the instruction by General Sinon.
Yes, but my question is, why is he not moved back to Seneb?
It was a decision by the provincial head that he does not go to SANAP, he must go to EPR, and I complied.
Do you know why?
I think his reasoning were based on this, but on this email, plus the other one that came on the 2022, that's all I can think of. Because I went to him and I said, let's take this member back. And he said to me, it's fine, but he must go to SANAP. Excuse me,
The
economic,
EPR,
EPR, protected resources.
did you ask him for Warrant Officer Sander to go back to Seneb? Did you ask General Sonona
No,
for Warrant Officer Sander to go back to Seneb? It's very specific.
No, I said, when I say the member must go back, because he was from SANAP, so I meant that he must go back to SANAP. And then he said to me, no, he must go to EPR. And then I communicated that with Sander.
Did he give you did General Sonona give you a reason as to why he can go to EPR but not to Seneb?
No,
And you
I
didn't,
didn't ask him to.
Okay.
I complied.
Now, you know that Warrant Officer Sander says it's because he was stepping on toes, because he was making all those drug busts. Do you have a comment on that?
I heard him saying that. I have no comment on that.
You must also have heard him say that he laid complaints against certain officers about loss of exhibits. And he placed a document before us and he said you were aware, those were addressed to you.
Yes.
And as far as he's aware, only action was taken against only the one person and nothing was done about the other officers, who included Colonel Jacob and other names that I don't remember. And he gave that as part of the reasons why he had been treated the way that he was, following this complaint that didn't go anywhere. Do you care to comment about that? You received the complaint. What did you do about it? Why did you not do anything about it if you did not?
Maybe if I look at the complaint, because I know there were a lot of DRs that were open there in that office.
DR is what?
It's a disciplinary regulation. We call it, when we discipline a member, it's called a DR.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're saying based on his reports or his complaint, because I'm asking specific to his complaint in the context of this discussion you're having with the evidence leader, that he says he stepped on people's toes but he thinks it's because he was making these busts and therefore stepping on people's toes. And then I'm adding that in addition to that, he laid complaints against certain officers, and those were delivered to you.
To me?
Yes. I think he was asked a specific question. Was Brigadier NYUSWA aware of this? And he said, yes, he would have been aware of these complaints. And if you say you never became aware...
No, I know, sorry to come interject you. There were complaints that were brought to my office, and there were investigations that were done, and there were people that were charged. Remember, the investigation, it will be assigned to the disciplinary investigator, and he will say, this so-and-so and so-and-so must be charged. And I remember that warrant officer, the female warrant officer, there was also warrant officer, he is now a captain retired. I think Freeze was also charged to those complaints.
So are you saying the complaints that Warrant Officer Sander testified to as having been fired, that you acted on all of those? Is it your evidence?
Yes, but did he send them to me or it came through the channels? Because I would receive something from Colonel Jacob and then also report to the provincial head, and then the functionaries would be appointed to investigate.
Yes. I think he was asked the specific question, did Brigadier NYUSWA become aware of these complaints? And his answer was yes, he did become aware of them.
I don't remember receiving anything direct from him.
Okay. Thank you.
It would have been, he submitted it to Sabia. I think he was a captain at the time, or Sabia, and then from there, he said that you became aware of the complaints.
Yeah. But there is no complaint that came to my office and we did not act on it.
Okay. Now, you say you joined as the acting provincial commander in April 2020.
That's correct.
When you joined, were you aware of the allegations against Lieutenant Colonel Jacob that were similar to the allegations that were later made against Warrant Officer Sander, that he was colluding with a drug cartel? Were you aware of that, and that there was an IPID investigation against Lieutenant Colonel Jacob?
No.
Okay. Were you aware that he had been moved from SANAB during that investigation until the investigation was finalized?
I know that he was once placed at commercial crime, serious commercial crime.
Yes, and it was pending the outcome of that investigation. And when that investigation was finalized, he was moved back to SANAB. Were you aware of that? It's fine if you weren't aware of it. You just came into the position in April
Okay.
2020.
No.
This would have occurred in 2019. But
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, no. I do.
That's why I said when you joined there, were you aware of these allegations?
No.
Okay. So was there any reason why Warrant Officer Sander should not have gone back to SANAB at the conclusion of the investigation? I would suggest even earlier than March 2025, most probably in July of 2024, based on that information note that you have there that we haven't seen, but that he should have gone back to SANAB at the conclusion of the investigation.
It was a decision of my superior. I
Brigadier, my apologies. I'm not asking you about the decision of your superior. I'm asking for your opinion. Do you agree that there was no reason why he should not have gone back to SANAB in March 2025, based on what you knew, because you were involved in that process?
No, I don't see a reason.
Sorry?
I said I don't see a reason why you should have not been placed back to SANAB.
But you did nothing to ensure that he goes back?
Because I was following orders.
Okay. And this was somebody, whilst he was in your team, he was a good investigator. He was one of the best investigators you had at the time, correct, insofar as drug busts are concerned?
Yes.
Okay. And when General Sonona says he's not going back to SANAB, you know that there's no justifiable reason why he shouldn't go back to SANAB. You just agree with the decision to send him to EPR.
I sent him to EPR, but again, equally so, I asked him to do a very sensitive investigation for me there, because other investigators were not taking it anywhere, and he's still doing it. And he has progressed a lot on that investigation.
Can I just say, Brigadier, that you are the head,
Yes.
and Sanders falls under you. A complaint or an allegation was made against him. It went nowhere. You are confident enough to recommend that he should be reinstated to SANAB. I struggle with your presenting the position as if you don't have the ability to advocate for your members. You know your members, the members in your team. You know their strengths.
Yes.
You know where you are short of resources. And this idea that you are presenting that you have absolutely no say. General Sinona runs the show however he wishes, to a point where he can move people around without you having a word at all, even making a suggestion or advocating. It's difficult considering the seniority of your position. I mean, he's the overall head, General Sinona, there's no question about that, but he has different, I think you've said commanders, commanders?
Provincial commanders.
Yes, who report to him. So he's not the be-all and end-all of everything. He relies on you. You are presenting and consistently about this operation. You first the operation in Port Shepstone, but now in this conversation, you are presenting the impression that you have absolutely no say. It's one thing to say, I did motivate and I did have the discussion that I think he should return to SANEP for reason A, B, C, D. And General Sinona, well, he makes the final decision and is finally accountable, overruled my recommendation. That's a different scenario than having someone of your seniority who says, well, I was following instructions. I said the man should be returned, and I don't know for what reason General Sinona decided he must go to EPR, but hey, it was an instruction, and there was nothing more I could say. Never mind do, I'm not even saying do, I'm saying say about it. Then it raises questions about the effectiveness of these positions of leadership. If after all, someone in General Sinona's position, and that not just him, I'm not being personal to him, but if someone who holds that position after all makes all the decisions and doesn't get any input and assistance from his middle management or executive management, because that's what you are, then it raises questions about the effectiveness of that structure. If not the structure, then of the people that get appointed to those positions. Do you want to comment about it? Is this something that we should be worried about, or we just don't understand how things work in the SAPs, or how they're designed to work, in fact?
I think in my first statement that I read this morning, paragraph 13, the commissioners will find the answer there.
There you say General Sinona just
Page 4.
does as he wishes. You say paragraph?
18.
Okay. He was not someone who consulted when he made decisions. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
So it's really the person, not necessarily the organization and the structure that is problematic. It is that you have that kind of person in the position.
Yes, and I think other colleagues from my province in the TPCI can concur with me.